So, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company did a secret event in New York City, where they let a select few influencers and media play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet early. Basically, they had 1 hour to do whatever they wanted in the game, and today, they were allowed to share their experiences and any new finds during their playthrough. I went ahead and watched every video, listened to every podcast, and read every post so you don't have to, and have compiled everything that there is new to know about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So if you haven't subscribed, it would be greatly appreciated, and hopefully I could go to one of these cool events. But let's get right into it. First thing, there's going to be no sneaking like in Pokemon Legends Arceus. This was kind of showed off in the most recent gameplay trailer, but you have to walk into a Pokemon to engage a fight. There isn't going to be any sort of backstab mechanic or any type of throwing a random Pokeball to hopefully randomly catch a Pokemon. You have to initiate the battle to catch one. There is one thing though, Pokemon still chase you like they do in Legends Arceus and Sword and Shield. Speaking of battle, during a battle, you cannot move your character, but you can move your camera. This is only for wild battles though, because in Titan battles and gym battles, the camera is locked. Here's something that's fairly interesting. This is probably because there's some special animations for some special moves in both of these types of battles. Next, we have more information on the new Let's Go feature, basically the feature where your Pokemon follows you and you're able to command it to attack without initiating the battle menu. First of all, how this feature works is your character has a little vicinity where you have to be near a Pokemon for this feature to work. Once you're near a wild Pokemon and you want your Pokemon to attack, all you do is hit R2 and your character points to the Pokemon and your Pokemon runs up and fights. It works similarly like it does to Pokemon Legends Arceus when you get materials. It just kind of happens, and apparently it happens super fast. So it would be a really great way to grind XP. It is unknown though if you could stop your Pokemon from attacking after you commanded it to. So hopefully you don't command your Pokemon to attack shiny. And this feature is all about the range. I've already mentioned it before, but the range around your trainer is crucial to which Pokemon your Pokemon attacks. And a few content creators did say it is a little hard to use when in a massive horde. This is because it is kind of hard to choose a Pokemon to attack if they're all right by you. But the build they did play was only a beta build, and this is probably going to be fixed on the final release. Next up, we have more information on new and returning movement. We did see a new slide type move in the most recent gameplay trailer, but a little more information on that. That can happen in both Let's Go mode and normal mode. It just happens when you either switch your directions quickly or stop in the middle of a sprint. And another thing found by the Pokemon podcast is that you can actually spin. And per their words, it reminds them of the Sword and Shield spin, but without a pose, unfortunately. This makes me think that there probably is going to be Milcery in Scarlet and Violet. I don't see why else they would add a spin. Next up, we have some more information on how the legendaries are going to be upgradable throughout the story. Basically, when you get your legendaries, that being Koraidon or Miraidon, all you could do is walk at first. But there's going to be a total of 4 upgrades that we know of so far. 4 is an odd number. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a secret 5th. But as we know right now, the 4 upgrades we have are flying, swimming, climbing, and sprinting. So there's going to be 2 speeds that your Pokemon can ride at, and after you unlock the sprinting, they'll go considerably faster. Next up, we got some more information on craftable TMs and how the recipes will work. We know from the most recent gameplay trailer that Pokemon will drop certain craftable items after you catch or battle them, but multiple content creators did say that any drop isn't 100% drop rate. So if you catch, let's just say, a rock type Pokemon, you're not guaranteed to get a rock craftable item. This may not seem that bad, but considering how all the TMs are now craftable and each of them are competing for almost the same resources, it is going to be a little time consuming to get the TMs that you want. Most of the content creators were able to craft TMs, but only of the basic variety. This is like cut, water pulse, and all the basic type moves you expect on from level 1 to 10 Pokemon. Any higher tier moves are probably gonna take considerably longer, around maybe 2 to 3 hours to collect. This all may be an over exaggeration because once we know the drop rates and how to get a lot of resources fast, it should be super easy to craft as many teams as you want. Next, we have more information on the 3 different paths. Each of the content creators were allowed to try one little event in each of the paths, that being 1 gym leader, team star mission, and 1 titan. The team star missions seem like elemental based raids on a compound is the best way I could describe it. Basically, as shown in the trailer, you are strictly locked into let's go mode, and all of the reviewers that were able to play had to knock out 30 Pokemon in 10 minutes during this mode. None of them failed, so none of them really found out what happens if you lose, but it's just assumed you have to just retry it. Every reviewer got to play the same mission that was shown in the most recent gameplay trailer, and they got to fight Mela at the end. And though all of them were bound by an agreement not to say certain material, a lot of them did say that the car that she's standing on top of is a Pokemon. It was very insinuated. They didn't outright say it because they can't, but they said that is a massive surprise and they can't confirm it or deny it. One last thing about the Team Star missions, raids, whatever you want to call them, is that they're going to be elemental based. It can be assumed in different parts of the map that there's going to be different elemental affinities for each of the missions. Next up, we have Titans, and one big thing is that Titans actually don't have levels. It can be assumed that Titan damage output is scaled with your party's level, but it wasn't even confirmed nor denied by any Nintendo representative across all reviewers' experiences. It was also heavily hinted at that there's going to be multiple Titans. I think this was just kind of obvious though. Lastly, we have the third route being gym leaders. Gym leader levels do not scale, but you're actually able to complete them in any order. Just some are going to be harder than others. And they're going to be similar to Pokemon Sword and Shields, where you have to do a challenge and then you have to do the actual fight. So basically, from all the information I've gathered, the Star Team missions are basically like Sun and Moon trials. Titans are like any final boss that you find in a Pokemon game, like your Eternituses or your Ultra Necrozmas. And the gym leaders are basically like a traditional Pokemon game where you just travel, fight, and you collect all the gym badges. That is everything I was able to gather from all the videos and new information that have come to light. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button and comment down below what you're most excited for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch and the Pokemon countdown that's going on right now. Anyways, I'm Crafty Type 1, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.